Hello. Today I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different, this time in English. I want to discuss with you the pros and cons about French. I want to give you some advice about this language. Before you decide to learn French, I want to tell you what it's worked out for me and what I think are the keys to this language. French is easy. You might know that already. Let's start with the cons because I think you might want to know the bad news before the good ones, right? The first thing I think you should consider is the pronunciation. La prononciation in French, it's complicated, okay? And you might already know that. Some languages have this very good thing, like my mother tongue, for example, Spanish, where all the letters always have like the same pronunciation. Everything is constant when it comes to pronunciation in my mother tongue. That means pronunciation in Spanish is very predictable. When it comes to French, well, I would tell you it's not. And it's really complicated to do some very specific sounds about French, especially when it comes to the R sound, the gargarism. They always use. There is another thing where it's this like humming, zim type of thing, like those sounds that they always do naturally. No matter what they're saying, you always hear something like sh or I don't know how to explain that to you, but if you listen to them talk for a while, then you'll get what I'm trying to tell you now. It's not just that French pronunciation is not predictable at all. Like letters sound differently all the time. Just like English, if you think about it, exists in French, something that doesn't exist in English. English has no accentuation when it comes to words. They just sound whatever they have to sound. But French has 4 accents actually. I know it sounds really complicated. My mother tongue has 1. So having 4 is like a total change for me. They accentuate their words with more than one of these characters. They mix them. Sometimes words have more than one of these characters. I've seen like 2 and I really don't like it. And sometimes I still struggle to write basic words because they have more of one accentuation sign. Pronunciation, I think it's the worst or most complicated thing about French. Another con I found about this language is you really have to be constant with it. It's not like another language that you might find very similar to yours, and then it'll be easy for you to catch up no matter how many times you left off. You have to be constant with French because it really is different than any other language in the world, so you might want to be constant with it. Finally, the last con I could find, the grammar. It works and operates very different than English. I actually find complicated some things about la conjugation des verbes, or like conjugate the verbs. It's just difficult. In English, you see it's very different. Like, I think the hardest part about English grammar is the present simple, where you have different conjugations for different subjects, but then the past and the future, which is like the basics, are just very simple and you use the same conjugation for all subjects. It's just that simple. But when it comes to French, that changes a lot, and that happens to be very common in any other language that's not English. And in Spanish, you'll have that. In Portuguese, you'll have that. You'll find that in French as well. And that's where it gets complicated because you have to like memorize or know by heart some conjugations of certain verbs that are like basic. Le verbe avoir, le verbe être, par exemple, for example. And that's what I would tell you it's the hardest thing about French. Dominating both the pronunciation and the grammar. Once you're already there, which will take you some time, I'd say the rest is very, very simple. Those are the keys to French. Let's move on now to what I think are the pros. Something that I really love about French is that there are multiple sources online that will help you speak French for free. YouTube channels or PDFs you can find online. There's also some type of games that you can play and help you memorize some things about French as well, like vocabulary. And I have tried that and I really got to like it so much. It's been so helpful. I think that's a pro about French, that it is well known. Another pro I could tell you I found is not only you have multiple resources that might help you just for free from many countries, from many cities. Some cities from Switzerland speak French. Belgique, they speak French. Even in Latin America, you will find a place that does speak French as their mother tongue. It's very close to Brazil, actually. It's a language wide known and spoken in many, many places. So you might need it not only if you decide going to France, you will need it in some other places. So I guess the point here is recognizing what's most important and you really need to focus on, and the things that are just like benefits or tools, you also need to know that you can count and rely on them to have a better understanding of French. Something that really, really works out, and I might want to give it to you as an advice, not like you have to do this and if you don't do it then you will fail automatically. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just an advice. French songs and French music are really useful. Like, you can memorize vocabulary and even conjugations of French verbs while listening to a song. Each time I want to learn a word that appears in a song, I just listen to it like 5 times, and I know it's a lot. I'll probably end up hating that song 2 days after, but it really helps me memorize French vocabulary. I think this is everything you need to know before you want to learn French. I wanted to do something a little bit different for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you find this video interesting or useful for your purposes. I hope you take this piece of advice from me and actually do something interesting with it. I hope you start learning French. I hope you get to love it as much as I did. So I guess goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. Merci d'avoir regardé.